Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you how to make these earrings. I'm going to use a round nose pliers, a flush cutter, 4 8mm glass beads, some paint brushes, some jewelry findings. I've got some jumper rings, some end caps and some spacer beads. I'm going to use these blanks, a standard chain nose pliers and a bent chain nose pliers, some tweezers, some PVA glue, and some acrylic paints, and 2 times 4 inches of 20 gauge wire. The first thing that we're going to do is use our white paint to paint the blanks, and this is going to act as a primer. And after painting, we're going to leave them to dry. Then we're going to use some green paint to paint the pieces. Also, you can use the paints that you prefer. You don't have to use the exact colors or the exact amount of paint that I'm using in this video. Now we're going to go back in and we're going to lightly add some purple paint. After that, we're going to do the exact same thing with some gold. And you just want to lightly brush the gold on the piece. And when we're done, we're going to leave them to dry. Next, we're going to use some PVA glue and we're going to use it to glue the findings onto the wood. So I poured out some glue and I'm going to dip each individual finding into the glue, and then I'm just going to use the tweezers to place the findings onto the wood piece. Next, we're going to add the jumper rings, and you want to make sure that you dip each jumper ring into the glue before placing it onto the wood piece. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my chain nose pliers to close the end cap before gluing it onto the blank. So next I'm just going to add some more jump rings. So I'm going to go back in and I'm going to add some more glue to the jump rings on top. And now that we're finished with this one, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the other one just the same, except when we add the jump rings, we're going to add the jump rings from the left side. Remember, the first blank, we add the jump rings starting from the right side. So what we're going to do next, we're going to leave the pieces to completely dry. And now that the pieces have dried, we're going to go in with some white paint and we're going to paint the findings. So you want to paint both, then leave them to dry. Next, I'm going to use the green paint to paint a part of the metal pieces with. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing with the purple and the gold paint. And we're going to do the exact same thing to the other earring. Next we're going to add some black paint to the back of the blanks. Then we're going to leave it to dry, and when it has dried we are going to add some white paint, and we're going to do that twice. We're going to leave it to dry, and afterward we're going to add some green. Then we're also going to go in with the purple and the gold. Next we're going to use some black paint to clean up the sides of the earrings. So basically we're just going to paint the sides in black. And we're going to leave them to dry. Then we're going to use a sealant to seal the pieces. And moving on, we're going to use the 2 times 4 inches of 20 gauge wire to make the connectors. So you place your round nose pliers at the 1 inch mark, then bend it at a 90-degree angle. Then place the pliers above the bend and take the tail of the wire over the top barrel of the pliers, then adjust your pliers as you go along. Then you take the tail all the way to the other side. I'm using my standard chain nose pliers to grip the loop, and I'm using the bent chain nose pliers to wrap the shorter end of the loop around the longer end. Then I'm using the flush cutter to trim the excess wire, and you add your beads. With the loop pointing down, I'm going to bend the wire at a 90-degree angle. Then we're going to place our round nose pliers right next to the bead, like so. Then we're going to take that tail wire over the top of the pliers, adjusting the pliers as we go along, then take it all the way to the other side. Then we're going to wrap the tail end around, then trim the excess wire. And if your loop is not centered, what you can do is insert back the round nose pliers and use it to center the loop. So you'll need to make another connector just the same. Now we're going to put the pieces together. We're going to add a jump ring like so, then a connector, then an air wire. So this is just a quick and easy way to make mixed media art earrings. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.